we live in a world where Ridley Scott is given a lot of money to make a lot of films. But let's just get right into it. Gladiator II is spectacular. Okay, let's just, when you look at a 2.5 hour runtime for Gladiator II, immediately I think to myself, okay, what are we doing here? And it follows very much, it's very similar to the very first one. And a lot of people are going to compare it to the first one. Rightfully so, of course, right? But I think there are so many redeeming qualities of this. A lot of people ask, why does this exist? And you know what? I think this movie actually gives itself a very good reason to exist. One, we talk a lot about this idea of spectacle filmmaking, especially with how much money Hollywood puts into these big studio blockbusters, which end up flopping. I really hope this movie doesn't flop, because I was just thoroughly entertained the entire time. Yes, I don't mean to reference that. Was I entertained? Oh, yes I was. Because let's just talk about this. When people found out they're making a second Gladiator with Lucius, what's it going to be about? Well, like I said, very similar. Lucius is put into a situation where he has to fight his way for freedom, and figure out a few other things along the way. And let's just get, I guess the main thing that we need to talk about is Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington is going to get an Oscar now for this. He was so phenomenal. Every scene he was in, I'm just like, this character is so cool. Pedro Pascal is so cool. You know what? And I don't exactly know how to say this, but the film Killers of the Flower Moon, it dove into this idea of complex characters. It's very difficult to understand how you feel about these characters because they have so many different motivations. Denzel Washington's one of those, and so is Pedro Pascal, surprisingly. There's just so many different things happening with those characters. It's like, I'm a little, not confused, but I'm very, I don't know what the word is, but you're just thinking about how I'm going to look at these characters for the rest of the film. But yes, Denzel is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Something else I really liked were the two Emperor brothers as well. I'm blanking on his name, of course. Billy from Stranger Things. Joseph Quinn. Phenomenal. Every time he and his brother, I can't remember the actor's name, I'm so sorry. Every time those two are on screen, they just have this presence. And I was sold the entire time. I loved everything they did. And about, I want to say about the hour and a half mark, I had to get up and go to the bathroom, and I checked the time, and I was like, oh wow, okay, we're moving right through it. And then next thing you know, I have to check my phone again, just have to go to the bathroom again, and I'm like, oh my goodness, we got about 20 minutes left. I'm like, all right. The thing about this movie is I would consider it cutthroat editing. I went to a kind of a later showing, and so I'm like, oh geez, I'm gonna get back a little late, whatever. But like I said, the editing is just chip. Like I said, it's a cutthroat editing movie. But once you kind of get used to that, you're seeing where we're going. I think it works. I think, although I can see how this movie might have been about 20 to a half hour, a little longer. But I think what we got was spectacular. I think Ridley Scott, once and again, proves that he's still got it. A lot of people are, I heard this comparison where they said Ridley Scott directs like he's still 35, and it's like, yeah, I can see it. It is just astounding to me that a guy like him can pull these things off still. That being said, if you're wondering what to go see this weekend, you got a few options. You got Wicked, you got Gladiator II, of course, and you know what? If you're feeling a little Christmassy, go see Red One. I have not seen Red One yet. I look forward to it, honestly. But until then, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.